in the midst of spiritual experiences, a heavenly dance, a subtle dancing between the divine and the earthly, occurs when God sends angels. Imagine a time when angels clothed in light descend into the world of the living, a moment when the celestial and ordinary collide. Frequently, their arrival signals a significant change in fate, a heavenly dance masterfully directed by a higher power. In many religious traditions, angels are regarded as celestial entities that act as messengers or go-betweens between the divine and people. Angels are perceived as supernatural beings majorly in Christianity, Judaism, and some other belief systems that play specialized roles in executing divine commands or offering direction. God uses angels as heavenly messengers and protectors at times of divine intervention when it appears that the curtain separating the worlds above and below is opening up. Wing-adorned and enveloped in heavenly light, these celestial emissaries come forth from the kingdom of heaven to weave their beneficent influence into the fabric of human existence. Angels represent a deep link between the holy and the mortal, whether they be silent mentors in dangerous situations, comforting murmurs in dark times, or invisible hands directing events. Come along with me as we explore the ethereal dance and mystical encounters that occur when God sends angels to touch the remarkable and transcend the normal. These heavenly experiences are characterized by whispers of comfort in the darkness, as angels watch over the sleeping planet like invisible guardians. Their invisible presence, a divine embroidery on the fabric of human existence, gives hope during times of despair. Angels manifest as benevolent forces that lead people away from the precipices of suffering, acting as guides in dangerous times. The divine compassion for the complex lives taking place under the heavens is reflected in their subtle yet powerful interventions. Visualize the celestial dance where angels perform in unison with the divine design, a staged ballet that transcends both space and time. These celestial dancers have the power to console a shattered heart or gently lead a lost soul towards enlightenment. These interactions create times where the sacred and the mortal embrace because they bring together the magical and the earthly. The Dance of Angels is a celestial choreography that touches people's hearts and souls, leaving traces of the divine in their hearts and souls. It is an orchestra led by God's hand, dancing down the halls of eternity. There are some fun facts about angels. A wide range of cultural representations. Angels are not just found in Christianity. They can also be found in Judaism, Islam, Zoroastrianism, and Sikhism, among other religions. Every religion and culture may have a different interpretation and representation of angels. 2. Angelology, the study of angels, or angelology, examines their characteristics, hierarchies, and functions within various religious traditions. The rings in R. Although angels are frequently shown as having wings, the Bible doesn't always support this notion. Angels and wings have long been associated as a common artistic practice. They are regarded as superior angels with particular responsibilities. Archangels Michael, Gabriel, and Raphael are well known in Christianity. Raphael is frequently seen as a healer, Gabriel as a messenger, and Michael as a warrior angel. Angels of protection. Many cultures have a widespread belief in guardian angels, angels tasked with guiding and protecting people. It is particularly valued in Christianity as followers of the faith frequently ask their guardian angels for direction and defense. Cherubim and seraphim. The Bible makes reference to angelic creatures called cherubim and seraphim. Seraphim are frequently portrayed as fiery creatures that sing praises as they round God's throne. Cherubim are shown as winged, multi-faced beings that are frequently connected to defending holy air. The theme of angels has been common in literature. The famous works Paradise Lost by John Milton and Divine Comedy by Dante Alighieri both heavily portray angels. Angels are frequently portrayed as strong, kind beings. Upholster. Angels are widely depicted in popular culture, music, art, and literature, demonstrating their enduring appeal and impact. A notion of angels who have fallen from grace or fallen angels is found in many different religious traditions. One prominent example in Christian theology is Lucifer. That angel encounters And belief systems have legends of angelic contacts or interventions, which give consolation and inspiration to those who believe in them. Angels are a timeless and fascinating part of human spirituality and stories because they continue to capture people's interest and imagination in spite of cultural and religious differences. The study of God's angelic visits explores the various facets of this occurrence, looking at the scriptural, cultural, and theological viewpoints that shape this complex and varied belief. Many examples of God sending angels to deliver messages are found in the Bible. Among the most famous is the Annunciation, in which the angel Gabriel informs the Virgin Mary that Jesus is going to be born in Luke chapter 1, verse 26 to 38. Angels are essential in getting messages to prophets as well. For instance, according to Daniel chapter 9, verse 21 to 27, the angel Michael is responsible for communicating with the prophet Daniel. There are many different religious systems that believe in guardian angels. Christians frequently hold to the notion that guardian angels are assigned by God to watch over and mentor specific. This concept stems from verses such as Psalm chapter 91, verse 11 to 12. Religious literature contains stories of angels guarding people and helping them when they're in need. Angels, for example, saved Lot and his family in the Bible from the destruction of Sodom and Gomorrah, Genesis chapter 19. An important birth announcement is one of the most crucial times when God sends angels. In the New Testament, God sends the angel Gabriel to tell Mary that Jesus is going to be born. An important point in Christian theology is this divine meeting called the Annunciation, which represents the incarnation of God in human form, Luke chapter 1, verse 26 to 38. The angel Gabriel also appears to Zechariah prior to the birth of Jesus in order to announce the birth of John the Baptist, Luke chapter 1, verse 5 to 25. This story highlights how angels help pave the way for important moments in the history of salvation. God frequently sends angels to offer direction, step in during emergencies, and carry out his purposes. According to the Bible, Hagar is comforted and reassured about her son Ishmael's future by the Lord's angel who appears to her in the wilderness. Genesis chapter 16, verse 7 to 14. Angels appear to prophet Elijah at pivotal times throughout his life. An angel feeds Elijah in the wilderness in 1 Kings chapter 19, highlighting the function of angels in supporting and empowering people through trying. God regularly sends angels to keep people safe and deliver them from harm. The angel Michael is referred to be the people of Israel's guardian in the book of Daniel. In Daniel 10, Michael answers Daniel's prayers by coming in and giving a message while helping him fight evil spirits spiritually. The book of Acts in the New Testament describes a story that shows God's involvement and protection, in which an angel miraculously frees the apostle Peter from jail, Acts chapter 12, verse 1 to 17. The idea of guardian angels is related to beliefs found in many Eastern religions about divine or celestial entities that watch over and lead people. The idea of devas, celestial entities who play a part in preserving cosmic order, is present in Hinduism. Although devas and angels are not the same, they do share some traits, and believers can ask for help and direction from them. Buddhism recognizes angelic creatures, including bodhisattvas and devas. These entities are said to be empathetic mentors who could support people on their spiritual path. Angels are usually involved in prophetic events, which are generally connected to the end of the world in religious stories. Angels are shown in Christian art as taking part in the occasions leading up to Christ's second coming and the last judgment. According to the book of Revelation, angels pour forth bowls of God's wrath and take part in the celestial wars that take place before God's everlasting kingdom is established. People frequently pray and reflect within to ask angels to be in their life and to provide them with wisdom. Beyond theological and differences in culture, the concept that God sends angels enhances humanity's spiritual foundation. Angels are loved deeply by believers, regardless of whether they are seen as messengers, guardians, or representatives of God's will. Sacred writings and traditions contain stories of heavenly interventions that provide comfort, direction, and a feeling of divine connection. People frequently take solace in the thought that angels are there during both routine and remarkable times in life when they consider when God sends angels. The belief in angels provides inspiration and a strong link between the terrestrial and celestial realms, whether one is looking for direction, protection, or a greater comprehension of divine purposes. Examining the effects of angels' absence requires examining theological, cultural, and spiritual aspects. Whether angels are a figment of someone's imagination or the result of a spiritual loneliness, their absence might have significant repercussions. This investigation will examine the potential consequences for various belief systems and how the lack of angels is perceived. Angels are viewed in Christianity as divine messengers who took part in momentous occasions like the Annunciation and the Resurrection. Angels' absence could indicate a deficiency in heavenly guidance and communication. Jewish tradition places a great deal of emphasis on angels, from the angelic meeting with Jacob to the messenger angel's function. One could interpret the absence of angels as a deficiency in divine connection and communication. There are many cultures who believe in guardian angels, regardless of their religious affiliation. Feeling insecure and losing spiritual company could be linked to the absence of these guardian spirits. Angelic creatures are frequently portrayed as intermediaries between the worlds of the heavenly and the mortal in a variety of tales and traditions. The absence of angels in these stories could throw off the harmony between the supernatural and the material worlds. People who experience a lack of angels may become isolated spiritually and lose their connection to deeper spiritual insights and truths. A lot of belief systems include the idea of guardian angels. People may feel less spiritually protected when they aren't around, which might raise worries about being vulnerable and open to bad influences. The variety and depth of religious rituals may be affected in religious traditions where angels are mentioned in worship narratives, ceremonies, and rituals could not have the sense of a heavenly presence. Angels are seen in certain cultures as human divine mediators. Like the lack of angels could indicate a decrease in these intercessory functions, which could impact the effectiveness of prayers and requests. According to some religious viewpoints, angels are thought to keep a record of human actions. The absence of angels may cause someone to feel less responsible for their acts, which could have an effect on moral behavior. Angels are frequently perceived as entities that elevate spiritual consciousness and knowledge. People may feel that moral and ethical issues are less important when they are absent. Believing in angels frequently provides consolation and comfort when things are tough. Losing angels could result in losing this emotional support system, which could impair people's capacity to handle hardships. Angels are usually connected to safety and confidence. In their absence, people could feel more fearful and anxious about life's uncertainties and the unknown. There are more spiritual queries that can come up if angels aren't present. In literature, art, traditions, and cultural symbolism, angels are important figures. Their disappearance can cause cultural narratives and symbolism to change, which could have an impact on how civilizations communicate and understand spiritual ideas. Psychological help is frequently provided by believing in angels, particularly when addressing existential issues, anxiety, and bereavement. The lack of angelic beliefs may need new coping strategies and approaches to life's intricacies. Some people believe that angels are the defenders of virtue and morals. A disappearance can cause people and cultures to re-examine moral standards, which might result in alterations to moral principles and behavior. Religious communities can benefit from a sense of togetherness and shared values when members hold an angelic belief. The dynamics of the community may be impacted by the absence of angels, which could have an impact on social unity and a sense of belonging. There could be substantial changes in theological viewpoints. The lack of angels might lead theologians and academics to reconsider beliefs, the definition of God, and the place of angels in the cosmos. Angel belief frequently answers existential concerns about death, life, and the afterlife. Without this framework, people can approach these difficult issues in different ways, which could cause them to reevaluate their personal ideologies. It's possible that other spiritual paradigms will evolve in the absence of angels. In the absence of traditional heavenly guidance, people may investigate alternative belief systems or philosophical structures that offer meaning and purpose. There are occasions when social justice narratives involve the reference of angels. Their absence might have an impact on the motivation and language used in some movements, leading to a reconsideration of the moral and spiritual foundations of social activity. Angels are frequently used in art depictions as emblems of heavenly intervention, yet they can change. Artists could experiment with new symbols and themes that speak to the lack of celestial creatures. The lack of celestial intermediaries, like angels, can also have a big impact on religious beliefs and cause believers to face a lot of challenges. The following are some possible effects. In the absence of angelic intermediaries, believers might experience a closer relationship with God. As a result, people may reconsider the function of mediators in religious rituals in an effort to have a closer, more direct relationship with God. Heavenly intermediaries frequently act as channels for delivering communications from God and carrying out His purpose. When there are no intermediaries of this kind, Christians might have to reconsider how they perceive and comprehend the divine in order to deal with receiving direct guidance from God. Praying and worshiping are influenced by the belief in heavenly mediators. In the absence of angels serving as intercessors, believers might need to modify their method of praying in order to have a more direct conversation with God or look into other ways to communicate with the spiritual world. The idea of heavenly mediators is frequently included in traditional religious systems. Like, the lack of these middlemen could put existing theological frameworks under strain, leading religious authorities and adherents to reconsider and, in certain situations, reframe certain tenets of their faith. Rituals involving the recognition or request of celestial mediators are subject to modification. Theology that emphasizes a more direct relationship with God may require believers to modify religious rituals and rites. For believers, the lack of divine mediators may lead to existential concerns. There may be a period of reflection and theological inquiry as a result of their struggles with uncertainties regarding the nature of divine intervention, the afterlife, and the order of the universe. It's common to think of heavenly mediators as intercessors who fight for believers. When these heavenly people are absent, believers could experience a sense of loss as they face difficulties without the supposed assistance and intervention of the divine. Moral and ethical frameworks can be influenced by belief in heavenly mediators. In the event that these intermediaries disappear, believers might need to reconsider the moral instruction offered by standard religious teachings and look for other sources for moral advice. If there are no divine intermediaries, Christians can look for other sources of spiritual direction. This could result in an investigation of various intellectual frameworks, religious traditions, or individual spiritual practices that offer direction and meaning. Religious communities generally have a stronger sense of community when members believe in heavenly mediators. The lack of intermediaries has the potential to affect community movement, resulting in modifications to common ideas, practices, and the collective identity. A theology that stresses a closer relationship with God may be difficult for religious leaders to adopt. In the event that there are no heavenly mediators, religious leaders could need to help believers make theological shifts and provide fresh insights into faith. There are instances where the administration of divine justice is linked to celestial. Their absence could make believers reevaluate how they view justice within the framework of their religion and raise concerns about how divine justice functions in the absence of heavenly mediators. The fundamental ideas of religion can be significantly impacted by the lack of heavenly mediators, which can both challenge conventional beliefs and force believers to negotiate a theological ground that values a closer, more direct relationship with God. Assessing established convictions, modifying religious rituals, and dealing with existential issues in the absence of heavenly intermediaries are the challenges faced by believers. People may approach basic questions like mortality, meaning, and the afterlife in different ways when they are not guided by angelic creatures. Here are a few strategies people could use to overcome these obstacles. People may experience greater confusion regarding the nature of existence and what occurs after death if they are not guided by celestial creatures. This confusion may prompt a more thorough examination of existential issues. If there is no divine direction, people can reflect on their own mortality and purpose through reflection and intellectual study. This could entail thinking about their own beliefs, reading existential literature, or investigating various schools of philosophy. Humanism in secular philosophy. Some people may look to humanism or secular philosophies for direction in comprehending their purpose and mortality. Humanistic viewpoints frequently highlight the potential and worth of human life, even in the absence of divine direction. In a world devoid of supernatural entities, people would go to science to provide answers on the nature of life, death, and the universe as a whole. A distinct perspective on death, meaning, and the afterlife can be obtained via scientific knowledge. People might focus more on the here and now and the influence they can have in their current life if there is no heavenly direction. This change in perspective may have an impact on one's pursuit of relationships, social contributions, and personal objectives. Same works for morality and ethics. Without supernatural beings, people might reconsider their moral and ethical systems. In the absence of supernatural intervention, they may resort to philosophy, secular ethics, or social conventions to guide their moral judgments. Links to the community and interactions. Without the direction of the stars, people could prioritize their links to their families, communities, and interpersonal interactions more. Support and a sense of purpose can be primarily provided via interpersonal relationships and common experiences. People Protbaum in art and creative expression, such as writing, music, and art, to examine and share their ideas about aging, meaning, and the afterlife. Engaging in artistic pursuits can provide a channel for discussing existential issues and communicating personal opinions. Now, it's spiritual investigation beyond conventional views. People may explore spirituality in ways that go beyond conventional religious doctrine. This could entail engaging in techniques like mindfulness and meditation, or looking for transcendental experiences that provide a feeling of direction and community. If there is no heavenly direction, people can find meaning in leaving a lasting legacy or improving the world. Leaving a lasting legacy allows one to live beyond death and add to a greater story. 11. Embracing uncertain. Some people might accept the confusion surrounding death and the afterlife without looking for clear solutions. Living with an open mind to life's mysteries might be facilitated by accepting the unknown as a coping strategy. 12. Combining philosophical and cultural ideas. That people can combine philosophical and cultural concepts from different sources to form a personal belief system that gives their life meaning and purpose. Existential concerns can be understood greater nuancely thanks to this diverse approach. It is a very personal and diverse trip to wrestle with the ideas of death, purpose, and the afterlife, and the lack of heavenly direction. People can go to a variety of sources, from science to philosophy, and pursue various paths in search of meaning and purpose in their life. When people traverse the complexities of life, the absence of celestial creatures can result in an extensive array of personal beliefs and perspectives. In conclusion, according to some beliefs, angels help guide souls to the afterlife. In this case, God uses angels to help souls find their way to the afterlife according to their actions and spiritual condition. Occasionally, angelic entities are portrayed as fighters engaged in spiritual conflicts with malevolent entities. In this sense, angels that God sends fight evil forces and defend the divine order through heavenly combat. Angels are frequently thought to be able to comfort and heal. God may send angels to comfort the afflicted, provide comfort during difficult times, or aid in the process of healing and recovery. Angels are frequently connected to praising God for his holiness and splendor. When God sends angels for this reason, it could involve praising the heavens and proclaiming the omnipotence and majesty of God. It's crucial to remember that accounts of angelic activity differ greatly throughout religious writings and cultural perspectives. Religious traditions differ greatly in their specific beliefs and teachings, which have a significant impact on how people understand what happens when God sends angels. Remember to always seek God's face for the presence of angels as a means of direction, defense, and divine intervention. Although particular prayers may differ according to personal beliefs and customs, but be rest assured that you will definitely be guided. Let's pray. Heavenly Father, I approach you in humility, asking for your angels to be in my life. Please shine your light upon me, lead me with your knowledge, and let their angelic presence to encircle and shield me on my journey. May I be receptive to their guidance and blessings. I ask in your name. Amen.